So, the Bible talks about this idea of revival and drawing near to Him. And just going back to the Psalms, there's so many great Psalms. I want to just read some of them to you this morning. And this is just in Psalm 119. I want you to listen to these scriptures. Just in Psalm 119 is all. Psalm 119 and 25, and we've talked about this on our daily things. My soul clings to the dust. Revive me according to your word. In other words, God, I cling to the earth. I cling to the natural. But what I want you to do is to revive me by your word. I want you to move me from natural to supernatural. I want you to move me from the temporary to the eternal. I want you to move me from what doesn't matter to what matters. And he says this, revive me according to your word. Now, all of these scriptures here in Psalm 119 about revival and reviving our soul and reviving our mind and reviving our life has a tending, not only a decision on our part, but then asking God to be involved in it. So the first one, my soul clings to the dust. In other words, I'm so prone to hold on to the earth. What I want you to do, God, is revive me by your word. In other words, I want to look at your word and I want it to change me. Psalm 119:37. And we looked at this week too. As a matter of fact, I think Joe said something about it in a response. Turn away my eyes from looking at worthless things. In other words, what's not going to progress me, what's not going to prosper me, what's not going to move me down the road. And revive me in your way. So first, revive me according to your word. Now turn my eyes away from looking at worthless things and revive me in your way. In other words, the way you would do things, the way you pattern things. Psalm 119 verse 40, 3 verses later. Behold, I long for your precepts. A precept, you know what a concept is. A precept is a concept before you need it. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom, the word for wisdom in the Old Testament and the word for precepts are synonyms. It means this, to know what to do before you have to know what to do. In other words, already make your mind up what you're going to do in certain situations because it's what God's word says, so that you're not making a decision in the moment based on temporary needs and feelings and self-satisfaction. You just go ahead and say, well, God says this about how to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and make my decision now before I ever get to the place where I have to act on that decision, that this is what I'm going to do. Let's just talk, for a moment, you talk about finances in that way. God says, manage your finances this way, and I'm going to be involved in it. But so many people, it's week to week what they decide to do about giving and about being generous and about helping others and about being involved in stuff that's bigger than them. And God says, you know what, that's not really the way to live. He said, I long for your precept. In other words, I long for your wisdom. Listen to this. Revive me in your righteousness. Revive me in your righteousness. Psalm 119:88. Revive me according to your loving kindness, so that I may keep the testimony of my mouth. In other words, this, God, do some kind of action in me so that my actions match my words. So I don't say one thing and do another. And I love this, revive me according to your loving kindness. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. Psalm 119:107. I am afflicted very much. In other words, there's stuff that beats me up all the time. Revive me, O Lord. Again, he says, according to your word. Psalm 119:149. Hear my voice according to your loving kindness. And revive me according to your justice. Revive me according to your justice. We know that the justice of God, the wrath of God, was poured out on Jesus. So revive me because of what you did to Jesus. Revive me because all of my sins are taken care of in Jesus. Revive me because you have judged me as a sinner, but I have accepted your righteousness, and now I'm not a sinner anymore. So revive me according to your justice, which is the cross. Psalm 119:154. Plead my cause and redeem me. Revive me again according to your word. Where there in the beginning of this is plead my cause and redeem me. That's what Jesus is as our advocate. 1 John 1:9 talks about that Jesus is our advocate. In other words, he's our lawyer, he's our attorney. He pleads our case and he redeems us. So he revives us according to his word. Psalm 119:156. Great are your tender mercies, O Lord. Revive me according to your judgments or your decisions. What you've already decided about life, revive me according to that. These are great prayers. If you want these, I'll send these to you. In Psalm 119:159, Consider how I love your precepts. There's that word again. Consider how I love your wisdom. Revive me according, O Lord, according to your loving kindness.